हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू एम एस एनसीईआरटी स्टडी। आज हम इंग्लिश की बिहेव बुक का चैप्टर 1 पढ़ेंगे जिसका नाम है द फन दे हैड। चलिए शुरू करते हैं। Margie even wrote about it that night in her diary. When the page headed 17 May 2157, she wrote, "Today Tommy found a real book." It is a very old book. Margie's grandfather once said that when she was a little boy, his grandfather told him that there was a time when all stories were printed on paper, that they turned the pages which were yellow and crinkly, and it was unfully funny to read words that should still inserted the moving the way they were supported to an a screen, you know. And then when they turned the page of the page before, it had the same words on it that it had when they read it the first time. Guy said Tommy, "What a waste. You when you are thought with the book, you just throw it away. I guess our television screen must have had million books on it and it's good a plenty more. I would not throw it away." "Some with mine," said Margie. She was 11 and had not seen any telebooks on as Tommy had. She was 13. She said, "Where did you find it?" "In my house." He pointed without looking because he was busy reading. "In the attic." What it's about?" "School." Margie was scornful. "School? What's they to write about school? I hate school." Margie always hated school, but now she wanted it more than ever. The mechanical teacher had been giving her test after test in geography, and she'd been doing words and words until her mother and until in mother and shaken her head sorrowfully and sent the country inspector. She was a round little man with a red face and the whole box of tools with the nails and wires. She smiled. He smiled, and Margie had gave her an apple, then took the teacher apart. Margie had hoped he would not know how to put it together again, but he knew how all right to, and after an hour or so there is was again large and black and ugly, with a big screen on which all the lessons were shown and the questions were asked. That was not so bad. The part of Margie hated most was a slot where she had to put homework and test papers. She always had to write them out in a punch code they made her learn when she was 6 years old, and the mechanical teacher calculated the marks in no time. The inspector had smiled after she finished and patted Margie's hair. She said to her mother, "It's not a little girl's fault, Mr. Johnsy. I think the geography sector had graded a little too quick. Those the things happen sometime. I have solved it up to an average 10-year level. Actually, the overall pattern of her progress is quite satisfactory." And the patted Margie head again. Margie was disappointed. She had been hoping they would take the teacher away altogether. They had once taken Tommy's teacher away for nearly a month because the history sector had blanked out completely. So she said to Tommy, "Why would anyone write about school?" Tommy looked at her with very superior eyes. "Because it's not our kind of school, stupid. This is the old kind of school that had hundred of years ago," he added loftily. pronouncing the word carefully. Centuries ago, Margie was hurt. Well, I don't know what kind of school they had all the time ago. She read the book over his shoulder for a while, then said, anyway, they had a teacher. So they had a teacher, but it was not a regular teacher. It was a man who could a man be a teacher? Well, she just told the boys and girls sing and give the homework and ask the question. Damn, a man is not smart enough. Sure, he is. My father knows as much my teacher. He knows almost as much. I bet, beta. Margie was not prepared to dispute that. She said, I would not want to strange man in my house to teach me. Tommy screamed with laughter. You don't know much, Margie. The teachers did not live in the houses. They had a special building and all the kids went there and all the kids learned the same things. Sure, if they were the same age. But my mother says a teacher has to be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl it teaches, and that each kind has been taught differently. Just the same they did not do it that way. Then if you don't like it, you don't have to read the book. I did not say I didn't like it, Margie said quickly. She wanted to read about those funny school. They were not even half finished when Margie's mother called. Margie school. Margie looked up. Not yet, Mama. Now, Mrs. Jonesy said, and it's probably time for Tommy too. Margie said to Tommy, can I read the book some more with you after school? Maybe, she said nonchalantly. She walked away whistling. The dusty old book tugged beneath his arm. Margie went into the classroom. It was right next to her bedroom, and the mechanical teacher was on waiting of her. It was always on at the same time every day except Saturday and Sunday. Because her mother said little girl learn better in their learn at regular hours. The screen was lit up and it said today's arithmetic lesson is on the addition of proper fraction. Please insert yesterday's homework in the proper slot. Margaret did so with a sign. She was thinking about the old school they had when her grandfather's grandfather was a little boy. All the kids from the whole neighborhood come laughing and shouting in schoolyard, sitting together in a classroom, going home together, and end of the day they learn the same thing so they could help one another with homework and talk about it. And the teacher were pupils. The mechanical teacher was flashing on the screen when we add fraction 1 upon 2 and 1 upon 4. Margie was thinking about how the kids must have loved it in the old days. She was thinking about the fun of they had. Thank you.